Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. It's Monday night, so it's time to play some Soul Herder. Magic 21, our core set 21, was released on Magic Online last week. I think it came out on Tuesday, but then it always takes a few days for the new set to be available widely on the bots, particularly rares. I mean, you get some commons on the first day, and then uncommons on the second day, and then usually by the third day you can find most of the rares. So as far as most of us who play Soul Herder are concerned, not really a ton of interesting stuff in the new set, but there's one card that seems like it could be pretty sweet in the deck, and it's this one here. I've mentioned it a couple times on previous streams. But yeah, here we have Niambiherder, Esteemed Speaker. If you guys are looking at the list over here with the Cardboard Live plugin, for whatever reason, Cardboard Live doesn't recognize this card yet. I guess because it's pretty new. So I just use the other Niambiherder, but this is the one that's actually going to be played in the deck. I mean, as far for testing purposes this evening and presumably for the next week or two. So anyhow, what's up with this card? It's 1 white, 1 blue, legendary creature, human cleric. So as far as I understand, I don't know anything about magic lore, but I think this is Teferi's daughter. So she has flash, kind of makes sense. They're tricky with time, that family. And she's got a nice paragraph here. When Niambiherder, Esteemed Speaker, enters the battlefield, you may return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, you gain life equal to that creature's converted mana cost. So already it's doing some stuff that the deck kind of wants, right? It's got flash, which I think the deck makes really good use of. I value flash really highly in this deck. Coatl, super important. Resto is pretty clutch in a lot of situations. Obviously, Chord of Calling, Path, just being able to play on the opponent's turn, generally pretty powerful. So Niambiherder as a 2-drop with Flash slots in very nicely alongside Icefang Coatl at the 2-drop slot. So she lets us return a creature to our hand. So it's not really a blink effect. It's not a blink effect at all, really, but it does allow us to do some things that Ephemerate does. So, for example, ghost blocking, we set up blocks, and then Niambiherder gets flashed in. The creature that was blocking can get bounced back to our hand, and then we can presumably cast it next turn for value, since all of our creatures generate some kind of value. Most of them generate value when they enter the battlefield. So I think some people who are trying this new Niambiherder card are doing it with Vial, so that if you bounce a creature back to your hand, if you've got a Vial on board, you can just Vial the creature back in and not really lose any tempo. I tried Vial for just one match or two, and I sort of immediately missed Astrolabe for the sort of absurd amount of color fixing that it provides us. It also synergizes really nicely with Urian. Now, this is an 80-card deck with Urian in the sideboard, so we're going to be able to pay 3 in any game to get Urian in hand. And so it's sort of another potential reason to run Aether Vial with the new companion rule is if you pay 3 to get Urian in hand and you've got an Aether Vial on 5 counters, you can just immediately Vial Urian in, and in those situations, Urian is actually better with the new companion rule, right? Because we just paid 3 mana to get Urian on the board at instant speed with Aether Vial instead of just paying 5 like the old companion rule used to be at sorcery speed. But I don't know. I think Aether Vial in an 80-card deck is pretty clunky. There have been some results with the approach playing Aether Vial in the 80-card Urian builds, but I don't really think it's for me. Alicia in the Discord has been talking about testing with Niambiherder and some of the black cards that she's been playing with. Specifically, Tidehollow Sculler is a pretty nice combo with Niambiherder because, let me just bring up Tidehollow Sculler for those of you not super familiar with it. When this enters the battlefield, you look at the opponent's hand, choose a card, and then it kind of stays under Tidehollow Sculler. If this guy's on the battlefield with the ETB trigger on the stack, you can flash an Niambian, pick Tidehollow Sculler up, and then the leaves the battlefield trigger goes on top of everything, resolves, and nothing happens because there's actually been no card exiled yet with Tidehollow Sculler. You've got Tidehollow Sculler back in hand now. The last thing that'll be on the stack is the ETB exile something ability. When that resolves, it'll exile something permanently from the opponent's hand. So very nice synergy between Tidehollow and Niambi. Particularly if you've got Ether Vial in the mix, you can do it like on their draw step. Vial in the Sculler, flash in Niambi. Very nice synergy. Also, just being able to pick up stuff like Wasteland Strangler with Niambi, you can see the potential power, but I felt like it would be most appropriate for me to just try running Niambi with more or less the list that I've been playing with up to this point. If we look at the actual list, I think it was here. I definitely had to trim some stuff. No, this is, let's see, is this the list that I was playing? It was, I think. So this is a 60 card list. So obviously going from 60, which is what I've been playing lately. So going from 60 back to 80, I had to make some adjustments, but I basically started here. I've been enjoying the 8 snakes, so I'm still on the 8 snakes back to 80, even with the addition of the 4 Niambis. The one thing that I've taken out that I can think of off the top of my head is Charming Prince. Not really in the list, just because Niambi does have a pretty similar effect. In the event of a board wipe, you know, we can flash in Niambi and bounce back like an Eternal Witness to our hand. Only difference, Charming Prince doesn't have flash, so in that kind of a situation, you'd have to cord for the Prince. So with Niambi, you can just cast her with flash, play the Eternal Witness next turn. The Prince would actually have the Eternal Witness just come back on the end step, so there are some differences between the two cards, but that sort of function of saving like an Eternal Witness in the event of a board wipe, pretty similar, I think, in the way that they function. Also, Niambi, similar to Prince in the sense that when she enters the battlefield, she can gain us life by returning a creature to our hand. So if we return like an Oracle, it gains us the CMC, so gains 2 life, gets the card back in our hand, we can replay it, get the value. So in my view, Niambi is kind of an upgrade to Charming Prince in the deck. It's a 2-drop like Prince, a little bit more color specific. But first of all, it has flash, which, as I mentioned earlier, is pretty huge for the deck. It gains life, and if we get to replay the creature at some point later, it does get ETB value. So it kind of combines. It combines like Prince's mode of blinking a creature and gaining life, and it also has an ability I haven't even mentioned yet down at the bottom there. If you pay 3 mana, tap Niambi, you can discard a legendary card and draw 2 cards. So for that reason, I'm playing a Singleton Oboro. It's just basically a blue source, kind of like an island, except it's legendary, and you can bounce it back to your hand. So you play this, use it for mana for a while, end up drawing a bunch of lands, bounce it to your hand, pitch it to the graveyard with Niambi, and draw 2 cards. Pretty strong. So for the purposes of testing, I'm going to try 4 Niambis. I've already played a handful of matches with it. I think the other day I was just getting stomped by everything that I faced. It wasn't because of Niambi, it was just like bad draws and just bad running. But Modern is in a pretty strange place right now with goblins apparently pretty busted. I played against the deck maybe a couple days ago, and it seemed like a game where I normally should have won fairly easily. They were just able to generate so much value and then just combo me out with really any number of things. Like they could get my life total low and then just tutor for, what is it, Sling Gang Lieutenant, and then just sacrifice their board and just like go straight to the dome, draining me for like 7 or 8. Or Conspicuous Snoop now with Kiki Jiki can make infinite goblins and kill us that way. It's just kind of a mess, and I think the deck is pretty busted, very hard to compete against. So I'm probably just going to play Qs tonight, have some fun with Niambi, the new card, sort of see how it feels. hopefully get some of your guys' impressions on how the new card functions in the deck. Sideboard is pretty standard stuff. Bunch of cord sort of bullet creatures, Magus, Eidolon, etc. The 4 Veil of Summers, just very strong in a lot of matchups. All right, so let me just let everybody know that I am streaming this evening. All right, so that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and just jump into a queue. Niambiherder, submit, and yeah, we'll just join the queue. And while we're waiting for an opponent, I guess I can just chill on the deck list screen. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm running 4 Witnesses, 3 Herders, not a ton of ramp, just 4 Dorks, split between the Birds and the Hierarchs. I do like having a little bit extra access to black with the Birds of Paradise to be able to cast these Siege Rhinos. Looks like I have an opponent, so would like to play first. To reveal Urian. Say okay. And this is rough, getting wrecked by the Tango land. No blue mana, no turn 1 Hierarch means that unfortunately this is probably a mulligan. So, I mean, if we're playing against, I mean, if I play Canopy, Vista, play Hierarch, the next turn I'm also playing the Plains. I can hold up Ephemerate if somebody tries to kill my Hierarch. I get to untap with 3 mana. I don't have any fetches to get with Eternal Witness, but I can play Coiling Oracle and then Ephemerate it. So it's a little slow, but hey DV, I think I can keep this. It's quite slow, but if I'm paired against something like Jund, then it's just pretty good, I think. Keeping 7 cards in our hand, hopefully getting value out of the Oracle and the Ephemerate. But the format is just so fast right now. I guess this might be Jund playing Seal of Fire, but it could also be Prowess or any other kind of red deck. Another Ephemerate's pretty good, and if it is, I guess if they try to Seal of Fire my Hierarch, I can Ephemerate it. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're interested in that just yet. I mean, I'm going to Ephemerate, and they're going to, I'm sure, just like bolt it or gut shot it or any number of other things. All right, so, you know, whatever. Now we just have to hope to draw land. Okay. Can't play any of my spells, and I don't have a 3rd land, so I can't put Urian into my hand, so just pass back to the opponent. I guess the upside here is that the opponent is stuck on 1 land. Okay. Blue land. Let's go. Well, that sort of does something. Siege Rhino. All right, well, we're a little bit away from Siege Rhino, but at least we'll be able to cast something next turn. All right. So we'd love to draw land, obviously, but doesn't seem like the deck wants us to draw land. All right, there we go. But we're taking damage every time we cast something from Eidolon. This thing's almost certainly going to eat this Seal of Fire. Burn with access to 2 lands can pretty much do whatever they want to do. If they let us untap, we've got access to Niambi plus Ephemerate, which is pretty nice. But remember, we're taking all this damage from Eidolon, so pretty rough. Another land also gives us access to Siege Rhino. They're going to my face with the seal. Not playing Luris, but they are playing Seal. Interesting decision. All right, so I mean, land for Siege Rhino seems pretty good here. Oh my god. 6/6. I think this thing has trample too. Huh. So what did they just do? They they sealed. Okay, so 5 less. They did seal plus. Oh, that makes sense. So the seal gets to sit around and contribute towards Chandra's incinerator. 6/6 trample probably going to be pretty hard to deal with here. I do have 4 paths in the deck. Set to take a bunch of damage from this Eidolon, no matter what. Set to take 6/6, a lot of trample damage from this 6/6. I might just play the Coiling Oracle, hope to draw into a path, and if I don't draw a path, I guess I'll just scoop. I'll probably just scoop anyway, but I think that's kind of the only out that we have. We're still just going to take constant damage from Eidolon. Wait, what was that? Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, Chandra's Incinerator deals that much damage to target creature. Jesus, all right. So my creature just died. That's fun. All right, so we're all seeing some new stuff this evening. That was pretty wild. So this thing doesn't just come down as a 6/6 trampler, it also kills our creatures with Eidolon with the sick combo. So pretty impressive. When I saw that card spoiled, I legit thought that it could get played in some kind of modern red deck. All right, so what are we doing against red here? We're gonna bring in the Forge Tender and still get trampled. We're gonna bring in the Auriok Champion. We're gonna bring in Thragtusk. I guess the Pride Mage can sack to kill an Eidolon, which is sort of something. So maybe we bring that in. The Pride Mage sacks to destroy artifacts or enchantments. Yeah, that was pretty nuts. I actually forgot about that last ability until my Oracle was gone. All right, let's take 4 cards out. I think Venser's pretty bad against Burn. Stonehorn is not the best, but it's something. It at least doesn't hit us when Eidolon is on the battlefield. Lavinia is really slow to cast, and typically I would side her out, but Pro Red just seems pretty important in the matchup. I might trim a Soul Herder, potentially more. Deputy can come out. Yeah, maybe I'm just going to trim down to 1 Soul Herder. It dies very easily. Oh man, it's doing this thing where it shows that I have 16 cards in my sideboard and 80 cards in my deck. So I actually need 1 more card in the main deck, I think, if we do the math. This is 45, 57, 65, 71, 72, plus 8. I should have 80 cards in the deck. I don't know. It's just not representing it correctly. So let's go ahead and bring back in a Soul Herder, I guess. And now it's going to let me submit my deck. MTGO has been weird lately with this main deck sideboard stuff with 15, 81. I guess I could count the sideboard. It's 8, 12. It looks like I have 14 cards in the sideboard right now, but apparently I don't. Sometimes it just unsideboards me. No, but it looks like it's correct. So who would like to play first? I think this is just going to be a pretty bad matchup, honestly. Well, this is keepable. Not nearly as bad as the last. So I'm going to go green, and then birds, and then white, and then cast some stuff. Hopefully they don't kill the birds. If they do, I guess we'll have to see how it goes. This Tangle Land has been pretty weird in this match so far. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. And they kept their 6. We'd still love to draw like a basic island off the top. Goblin Guide. Maybe it's going to give me that basic island. Siege Rhino's a good one. Might make them kill the Birds of Paradise. I could leave up Niambi. I could block with the birds and then bounce it. If they try to like Searing Blaze it, I could potentially bounce it with Niambi. Getting Soul Herder down doesn't seem amazing here. Alternatively, I could just go for Coatl. I'm not going to have blue mana. Actually, if birds get killed, I'm not going to have any blue mana, so I should probably do my best to protect the birds. I prefer not to have to bounce the birds back to my hand, but if the opponent knows I have Siege Rhino, odds are they feel inclined to use a spell on the birds. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I don't know if Niambi wants to trade with the Goblin Guide, or if I want to like ghost block with the birds. I guess we'll have to see what they do. If they play a land and just go like, if they go Searing Blaze or something like that, then yeah, we would just bounce the birds and then try to trade with the Goblin Guide. Trading with Goblin Guide seems fine. All right, well, we got a forest. So in this spot, you know, it gives me a choice, I think, right? It says I may. So I can target the birds, see what they do, and I mean, if they target the birds and kill it, then that's kind of it. But then if they target Niambi, I don't know. This is the play, I guess. Need to not take 5. Well, opponents almost certainly got some tricks up their sleeve with 5 cards in the hand. It's going to give me the choice. So I think I'd actually just rather not gain 1 here. If they want to kill the birds, that's sort of fine. It's just, it's so clunky, it's... Alright, let's just try to trade like this. Looks like opponent's down with that. They could just play an Eidolon, second main, which is... They kind of wrecked me with it in game 1. So it'd be kind of nice if they do that, because then we can just play Siege Rhino. Could also just Searing Blaze here. Rift Bolt and what? 2 Rift Bolts. All right, so we're going to get a Siege Rhino down. And then we've got a Soul Herder to hopefully follow up. They can double Rift Bolt the Siege Rhino if they feel like doing that. It seems like a fair trade to me. All right, well, we're back up to 20. Hopefully the opponent taps out again. We can play a Soul Herder. They're going to the face. Makes a lot of sense. It's what Burn does. But it does mean that Siege Rhino is likely to stick around. Unless they have like a Path to Exile. All right, so we don't have 2 blue mana, so we do have a forest, and we can currently chord for 3. So we could chord for what I mean, we could chord for Niambi with 2 to pick up Siege Rhino and gain 4 in response to whatever they do on my end step. Kind of like that, actually. Like, I'm going to attack with the Siege Rhino and then look to chord for 2, I think. It just seems safer than, like, tapping out for a Soul Herder. So if opponent cracks this Wooded Foothills, I think I have to do this now. Just because, like, they could skull crack. I don't know. Whatever. Let's let them see what they want to do. They're certainly going to cast something. If they don't, I can pause on their upkeep. Oh, they didn't do it. So I feel like I might want to do it now. Don't even want to give them a chance to draw into something that could prevent me from doing this. You know what? Hang on a second. Yeah, I'm going to do it now. At some point, the opponent's probably going to have to deal with this bird. If the opponent... they just scooped. If the opponent kills the bird with any random burn spell, I can't cast anything in my hand. Alright, well, that just made them scoop, so... I guess 4 Niambis is decent against burn. Soul Herder is a little bit clunky. I mean, Scavenging Ooze gains life, so there's that. I think I might want to bring in Scavenging Ooze and take out that last Soul Herder. Yeah, that line seemed pretty solid. Did make the opponent scoop, but honestly, I don't think they realized how good the Birds of Paradise was there. This hand looks really nice. They're keeping, I'm keeping, and see how it goes. Seal of Fire gets to kill the birds. So maybe I just open with, I don't even know, like, do I want to make them use the seal on the birds? Maybe I just use my turn so more effectively. It's kind of interesting. Like, I could play Uro and then Niambi it back to my hand with it sort of chilling on the battlefield, but that takes 5 mana. So if I go birds, they kill the birds. They play Eidolon. I mean, you know, any burn that goes to our face, goes to our creatures, is not going to our face. So whatever. And if they sort of decide not to seal the birds, oh, they're going to go for this crazy creature now? They have to seal my face to do that, though. Then we get to Uro next turn. I should have opened with... Oh, all right. They're skewering the birds. Pride Mage is interesting. We might want to sit on that for a minute. Thragtusk is a good one, but we have to not die. So we're going to get blue, and I guess next turn try to cast Uro. This looks like Skullcrack to me, like 100%. I mean, it really looks like Skullcrack. Yeah, that new creature is pretty good. So, I mean, I don't know. It seems like going for Uro is kind of fine here. Next turn, we can go Pride Mage and then Niambi, bounce it back to our hand. Yeah, I mean, that's the plan with Uro, but I'm saying this really looks like Skullcrack to me. All right, well, on the stack, it's going to resolve opponent. Going to path Uro. It looks like they're going to path Uro. We're going to have 5 lands. So this is going much better than I thought it would be going. And we got another Astrolabe that we can play. I have to get a Snowland here, though. Oh, no, actually, I don't have to get a Snowland. I can just filter Astrolabe. So we are going to get our other Tangle land, and then we're going to make red mono with it. Play Astrolabe. Yeah, that would be pretty good if we could... Oh, another Uro. Well, if we can manage to like not die next turn, I think we're sort of doing okay. I'm going to see this big new creature. Opponent getting their combo. So I can Uro and then Niambi if I feel like it. Gain 5 life. And then Uro is in the graveyard. Actually gaining 6 life. Seems like a pretty good line. Gonna draw a card. I could also just play Thragtusk. Gain 5 life, but gaining 6 just seems better. So but if I go Thragtusk and then bounce it back to my hand, then I gain the 5, and I also get I gain 5, and then I gain 5 next turn, and I get a 3/3. I just like take 6 next turn, no problem. Next turn, I can Uro plus Niambi on Thragtusk. So in theory, gonna gain 8 life. So 8 damage represented right now, leaving me at 6 between these two. Sort of fine. They don't have mana up for Skullcrack, so let's just attack and then bounce it back to our hand. I could also just... Maybe I'll start with Uro. You know, I should probably slow roll the Niambi because they're going... It looks like they're going to bolt, right? And if they don't do it on my upkeep, then I can do it during... If they don't do it now, I can then during their upkeep, I can flash in Niambi. Next turn, we can just cast Uro from the graveyard. Thinking if I want to cast Astrolabe now or not. I think I can wait on Astrolabe. It's not that important. But then, I could draw like... Well, anyhow, I'm going to pass. See what the opponent does. They didn't kill Thragtusk when I attacked last turn, when they could have, so... Oh, do they have a Skullcrack now? Oh, well, Boros Charm is... Oh my god. They were slow... How? What? This makes no sense. Why would they not have Boros Charmed on my turn? It's a good play by the opponent, I guess. Oh, they only had 1 mana. Fair enough. So, poor on my part. I have to block with the stupid token now. Jesus, that was pretty rough. I'm dead now, so they deal 2 damage. All right, they got me. Okay, well, we could have played that better. I should have realized that by letting them untap, it just increased the odds that that they could cast what's in their hand. Anyhow, I'm happy to just jump back in if that opponent, his name is Base Builder. Let's see if we can just find him again. Different person, whatever. I'm gonna turn on my air conditioner. Give me a second. Right. Opponent's asking if it's Merfolk Joe. Would I like to play first? I would like to play first. And we'll keep this. So I think Niambi was pretty dope in that particular game. I just played it poorly. But I guess, just learning how to do it. I just should have bounced the Thragtusk on my turn. Because the opponent didn't deal with the Thragtusk when I attacked with it. So I could have guessed that they had something like that couldn't deal with it, like Skullcrack or Boros Charm. Both of those are 2 mana. Anyhow. So opponent says, "You're awesome. I really enjoy your content, especially your Soul Hurler stuff you were experimenting with. Thanks. Good luck to you." Okay, let's do this. This we're probably going to want to use to get a different color of mana at some point. So I think we can... Oh, what was that? Anyhow, I guess I'll just go get green now and hope that my birds don't get killed. Yuck. I don't know. I meant to play the breeding pool, but that was just like a dexterity thing there, where I was adjusting my lands and it automatically put one of them onto the battlefield. So now I feel like I kind of have to get green-white. Another red deck. Fun. Lava Dart. Well, at least I have no plays here, and I can just put the breeding pool down. And Path is decent against a deck that doesn't really run that many creatures. And Restoration Angel has 4 toughness, which is typically pretty difficult for them to deal with. Alright, well, just going face. Pretty rough. Light up the stage now? You sure? Pretty good. Feeling pretty good about the way this is going so far because they don't have any creatures out yet. They're going to know the card that I have in my hand here. They're going to know what card they're drawing. I would kind of love to draw a 2-drop creature here. Preferably a snake. I mean, that's an awesome card to have in the matchup. I kind of hate that they can just Lava Spike my Soul Herder if I play it. Not Lava Spike, Lava Dart, if I said Lava Spike. But at the same time, we're kind of trading resources, and I don't really see what's going to happen here. I don't have like an Ephemerate to protect the Soul Herder. If I play the Soul Herder out and they don't kill it right away, maybe it doesn't seem very threatening. I could potentially draw a land, which I can then, at that point, cord. If it is a green land, I can cord for Niambi and bounce the Soul Herder in response to removal. So if they want to kill the Soul Herder, they have to, you know, use up their Lava Dart now. Or something from hand. I'm not going to be able to cast any of the Astrolabes that I might draw, just because I don't have any snow lands. I guess I could have just chosen to pass with Path up. I have a feeling it's going to be Lava Dart now. Opponent getting in for 3 with the Swift Spear, maybe more, since they have a Mountain up still. Okay, bolting the face. They could just Lava Dart my face and sort of force me to chump block, but no. All right, well, that didn't turn out very well for me. Opponent still got 3 cards for when they draw next turn. I mean, this game could have been a little bit different if I actually played the breeding pool first, which is what I meant to do, and then use the shock land as the fetch land to actually get black mana. I do have triple green on the board right now to cord for something, but I need to wait until at least next turn. And I drew the wrong dork. Maybe I should be playing 4 birds. Honestly, like, I mean, they have 3 cards in hand. So I'm just going to path it. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous because I should be able to take like 1 damage and force them to like dump some spells into this, but I'm at 4 life. Alright, I don't know. I guess we have to go for this. I could also just flash in Resto to try to sort of get this guy, and the opponent's got 2 cards in hand. They've played a land every turn, I think. Or maybe not every... No, they did, because they sacked 1 for Lava Dart. Opponent says they have 3 lands in hand. So if I crack this and get a shock, I go down to 1, and then suddenly basically everything in the universe kills me. So I can also Chord for 1, which doesn't really do much right now. So Resto, I mean, it's just kind of a blocker, right? Even if I play Rhino right now, I'm just kind of like chilling at 4 life if they don't have it. I don't know. Just gonna go get it right now. YOLO. Yeah, okay. You got it, opponent. Oh, they're saying JK. What? All right. But probably pretty dead next turn. Okay, I'm Anamorphose. I think the Prowess decks are still on Bedlam Reveler. I think they had been off it for a while, but this guy's got a lot of instants and sorceries in the graveyard, so Bedlam Reveler seems like a possibility. Okay, Burst Lightning. Fun. So it's for 4. Alright, so kicked Burst Lightning. That's fun. Okay, so bringing in Auriok. Ugh. Not really sure what's going on with my mouse this evening. Auriok, Scavenging Ooze, Burrington Forge Tender, and Thragtusk for extra life gain. Let's go. Over here. There we go. Alright, and Thragtusk. Cut Venser. I feel like the dorks are just liabilities in this matchup. So I'm going to trim all the dorks. You know, Soul Herder is also kind of a liability, but at least it can potentially be a 2/2 the turn it comes down, whereas the dorks are just constant 0-1s. Okay, well, easy mulligan. I guess we'll keep this one. We're gonna go basic plains. Something else, like a green-blue. Okay. Green-black, maybe, but we do need green at some point for this Night of Autumn. So in my experience, Burrington is really excellent, but if it has nothing to back it up, we still lose pretty easily. All right, drew both of my basic planes. Interesting. I'm going to go get a the Overgrown Tomb with this, I guess. And then we'll cast Knight of Autumn next turn, gain 4 life, and draw Siege Rhino, I guess. Remember, we still do have Urian if we just keep drawing lands. Yeah, so this is how Burrington gets sort of worked around, basically. and end like this with trample. But that's excuse me. That's one of their crash throughs, and not being used for too much damage here. Get to neutralize all this damage with the knight next turn. Alright, so we've got 4 Siege Rhinos, we've got a bunch of Niambis, ways to gain life, 2 Oros. Oh. Ugh. Too many lands. So I don't know, these first 2 matches, I guess maybe we've been drawing a little bit awkwardly, but not feeling super strong against these red matchups, even though, in theory, I have a bunch of life gain. I think I just misplayed against Burn in the first match. But this opponent is hitting their land drops, playing a creature each turn, playing trample, probably a lava dart on my Knight of Autumn. Pyroclasm. So, I mean, if I sacrifice Forge Tender, all it does is save the Knight of Autumn. So, and the Pyroclasm is really only killing the Knight of Autumn here. And I can kill one of their creatures now, at least with Burrington. All right. We already kind of a healthy life total, but really don't have anything going on. Opponent is asking me if I misclicked, and I'm asking them, what do you mean? No, I put Urian into my hand from the companion zone. Opponent's pretty nice, so just letting them know what they missed, that I actually paid 3. They thought I misclicked, so what's gonna happen here? A lot of spike. I mean, bouncing Urian with Niambi seems pretty decent. Gain 5 life. Opponent says they were going to click through their turn if I misclicked. Nah, all good. Opponent with 2 cards in hand. Potentially, I don't know. I don't know what they could be holding up. Blood Moon. Alright, well, we can still cast Urian, and we have basics in hand. Just can't cast any Siege Rhinos right now. All right, so I guess playing Orion is probably the way to go. If they try to kill it with a burn spell or something, I could always sack the Forge Tender. Yeah, Oboro is there for Niambi. So Eternal Witness currently off limits. Interesting that the opponent played Blood Moon here with 2 redraws on the board. Can't say I agree with that, but I mean, they still have 4 mana. So we can't cast Eternal Witness, we can't cast Venser, but I think I sideboarded Venser out anyway. We could have cast that's funny. I could have cast Magus of the Moon if I brought it in, even though obviously I wouldn't bring it in. Opponent has another Fiery Islet. Probably can't attack now. They could if they have like a Lightning Bolt, right? Because then it'd be 2 damage and then 3 damage. Wow, okay. I think I have to start getting in with Urian and play Thragtusk. Yeah, I was saying earlier that if they try to kill Urian with a burn spell, I could always just sack Forge Tender. We have 10 power on board. Another Swift Spear. All right. This is it's kind of funny, this attack, but I'm gonna do it like this. So they got something in hand. If they try to kill the Thragtusk, I can just path the Swift Spear that's being blocked by Thragtusk if I feel like it. I could also just sacrifice the Forge Tender, Lava Dart to the Thraggers. Sort of set to take 2 damage here, potentially 3. I think I'm just going to path this thing. I think I'd rather let Thragtusk stick around. Really good with Ephemerate, obviously. Soul Herder. Opponent's empty-handed except for the Lava Dart that'll be chilling in the graveyard. Man, if I had an Ephemerate right here, this would be like the biggest blowout in the universe. All right, back to excellent blocks. Next turn, just really need to draw something. All right, so they're gonna have the 1 Lava Dart chilling in the graveyard, and that is it. Speaking of drawing something. We do need another blue and another green to actually cast this guy from the graveyard, but we do have another green. It's kind of nice. And I think it's probably time to attack with these 2 guys over here. Opponent's on 0 cards. Nah. It doesn't really matter. They're literally empty-handed. So Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I was just flexing. I mean, the game was pretty much over. I don't think there's a card in their deck that could have gotten them there. I have a Forge Tender. I could sack it to prevent damage. No need to be cute. But you mean to pitch it to Niambi, potentially? I guess, you know, but the game wasn't going to last that long. I still think that the dorks are liabilities in this matchup. Possible that on the draw we might want to change our math, but I think I'm just going to run it back. Kind of funny how Urian kind of just won that game. This hand looks pretty solid. Could definitely get run over. We go like, I don't know, green into Astrolabe next turn. Probably just play Oracle, hopefully hit a land, and if we do, whatever land it is with Astrolabe, we can Ephemerate. So opponent's on a Mull to 6. We're going to start off getting some basics. I mean, with all these fetches, like Uro would be pretty solid. Really, any life gain or removal is going to be solid. Opponent looks like they might be on one land. So a fairly slow start from the opponent. If we can hit a land off this Oracle, it would be pretty huge. I can't really afford to leave up path. Yes. Oh, yes. At least we have a chance here. Keep not drawing lands, opponent, please. So I think I'm just going to not block. Let them do what they want to do. Draw out something. Yeah, Vista is pretty sweet there. Come on, opponent. So they didn't do anything. So now I think I'm just going to take the 2 damage. Yeah. Just really didn't want to put the shields down there. So now I've got Niambi plus both of these things. We'll have to see if that's good enough. Yeah, I mean, we're going to do some kind of tricks here, I guess. I'm going to try to Ghost Block with Ephemerate. And we'll see what they respond with. Opponent probably has to try to burn this thing. Yeah. Kind of has to do that. Now I will Niambi. Bounce it back to my hand, gain some life, path the Swift Spear. I don't really love pathing the Swift Spear because they're stuck on one land. The opponent says, wow, that is a new one. It's from M21. I kind of feel like giving the opponent land is like not advisable in this spot. Next turn I can get Urian in hand and play the Coiling Oracle back out. I don't know, I kind of feel like pathing the Swift Spear. I think I'm going to. I know, they can't flash back the Lava Dart, it's true. Alright, maybe I'll just keep it in hand for a minute. Where is my Overgrown Tomb? Oh, I can't get it with this land, that's right. Hallowed Fountain. If they have a land, then well played, opponent, but I think that they don't. What could possibly go wrong? Exactly. Can I draw something other than land? Please, deck? I guess not. So, what am I even doing now? Are you chumping with a Coiling Oracle or something? I wonder with Niambi if we should be playing like four Uros and really trying to max out that legendary. So opponent has a land. I think I feel fine just pathing one of these things now. Yeah, we've got a lot of lands, even with all the deck thinning with the fetches. Still drawing lands. Okay, opponent trying to go sort of big here. Yeah, Lava Dart is just sitting there, so... Pyroclasm. Alright, well, Uro will be good. If I draw it. So opponent gets a free lava dart, courtesy of this Path to Exile. Still four cards in hand. We know that they don't have lands. Wow. Uro best draw here, for sure, without a doubt. Lavinia, not the worst draw. Not the worst draw. But we could just very, very easily still be dead. Opponent with 5 cards in hand. Lob Dart has us at 7. Can they deal 7 damage to us? Soulscar Mage. No, that dude's not going to be able to attack next turn either. Probably going to hold off on cracking this. I've got more basics that I can get. If I draw like a 2-drop, I could play it and play Urian. Oh, opponent's full of creatures here. Seems pretty good given our sort of board state. I just need to draw some life gain. If I draw a Niambi, I can play Urian, blink Lavinia, and then Niambi the Lavinia. Or the Urian. I kind of want to crack this now, but I'm not going to yet. Hey, now I have to crack it, I think. 1, 2, or yeah, I do have to crack it. Now they could Lava Dart, Double Bolt, or something like that. I'm going to attack with Lavinia and then blink Lavinia. God, this is ridiculous how many lands I'm hitting. Opponent has a Soul Herder deck in paper, but have not committed to Uro for cost purposes. Is it definitely worth it from your experimentation? Yeah, Uro is amazing, even if it's just a singleton. Courting for it is nuts in some situations. So let's attack. Deal our first damage of the game. Yeah, there's a lot of nice interactions with Urian and Niambi. Opponent does have the Lava Dart. Let's see if they want to burn it on this Coiling Oracle. I'm guessing maybe they do, but I'm at 7, and that puts me at 6, so what can I draw here, you know? Like, probably better just to let it go. I'm only hitting lands anyway. Oh, they're going after the Oracle. Good for them. I mean, it's infinite, but it's super duper slow, right? You have to pay mana for everything, and it just takes a long time. You can do it as many times as you want. The deck is drawing so weird. Where are my Siege Rhinos? I got 4 of those guys. Sack that Fiery Eyelid, opponent. You know you want to. Just passing. I can dig it. They did use... Oh my god, stop drawing lands! This is getting so absurd. Super unnecessary. Bold attacks. That's how I roll. Okay, opponent cracks the fiery eyelet. You know, I guess the Stonehorn is sort of okay here. I have a lot of good draws. Ephemerate is a fine draw, though maybe not the best. Witness is a very good draw. Opponent gonna bolt my face, I'm sure. Okay. Well, they have 2 cards left in hand. They're gonna go up to 3. I mean, this is just a waiting game. Like, I think that drawing so many lands has put me in a pretty bad spot. I mean, we have lethal if they can't kill me right now, which is kind of remarkable, but pretty sure we're dead. Oh, yeah, I see that. I see Paintball Demon. Notice the same thing. We do have 8 damage here. Opponent's thinking really hard. It's like, okay, Lightning Bolt number 1 and then follow up with Lightning Bolt number 2. Maybe they do light up the stage, hoping to hit land plus 1 mana damage, but, you know, that's like 70% of their deck. Crash through, but they can't attack. All right, this is starting to look promising. Remember that their Lava Dart is not in the graveyard anymore. Plays a mountain. Also seems like a reasonable sign. Spike plus 1 more card. Slow rolling everything. All right. Soul Guide Lantern. Interesting. So these anti-combat creatures actually stole the match here. $11 lands. So we go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good games, and thank you for the work you do with Soul Herder. And hang on. Oh, don't leave, opponent. Let me see if I can catch them. Opponent has a Soul Herder deck in paper. All right, so I'm gonna grab the Discord link for them. Invite people, and I always like to make it never expire. Use it as many times as you want. Copy. Cool. There you go. See you there. Great games. Thank you. I'm actually streaming right now. If you want to join. Yeah, that's definitely good advice. Paintball is all right. Cool. Let's do it. So we're gonna jump in again. I imagine the opponent probably not gonna play right now, just because he just finished a match. If he wants to go again, that would be kind of fun. Whatever. Kind of ridiculous that we actually won that. I think we got extremely lucky with their hand because I played Lavinia and then they like dumped like 3 creatures. Oh wait, we played again. This is the burn guy. This is the guy with that crazy. It's like an all burn knight. This is the guy running that crazy 6/6 trampler, and we're on the draw. What fun! Against burn, they're keeping 7. I'm on the draw. I've got the Astrolabe for the redraw. I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna lose to burn anyway. Yeah, but they have the Lava Dart, which is just like so good against us. Land. Basic land. Deck. Come on, opponent. There we go. See, the opposite of a land. Come on, land. There we go. That was a great draw. So now we'll go Coiling Oracle, will hit another land, and opponent will be stuck on 1 land. Oh, hey, crash through. Maybe this opponent has burn end. Or did they have crash through in the first game? I can't remember. Oh, I guess they have prowess and burn, just like diversifying, In case they get bored of burn, they can play prowess. Just non-stop basic lands deck, or Tangle Lance at this point. All right, let's go. Hit that land. Actually, I guess it has to be my only other basic plains at this point, or the Tangle Land, or a Shock Land would be pretty good. I don't like taking 2 from a Shock Land, but we can probably work with it. All right, neither. We're still not behind the curve. We have Niambi that can gain a little bit of life. Another crash through. Interesting. So we are totally like priced out of blocking here. Lava Dart, why not? Like, second main phase, another Soulscar Mage. Calling it. Maybe just a bolt to the face. Bolt to the face. Let's go. Pretty boring deck. Land. That doesn't hurt me. Oh. So now it looks like I have to block and pick up the Oracle and hope that I don't die. Opponent did not have a 3rd land drop, which means they just are sitting on ridiculous gas. I could also play Hierarch and try to just like old school ghost block with Ephemerate. Oh, that might just be the best way to do it. They haven't Lava Darted yet. I mean, if we do the Ephemerate, we have a chance of just like hitting a land off the Oracle. So whatever. I mean, we're pretty dead as things stand. Triple crash through. So now Ephemerate does nothing. Okay. 3rd land. Why not? Pretty good. And so opponent still has 4 cards in hand. Can't block. Cannot block. Doesn't do anything anyway. I could block and let my creature die. The thing is, we know that they don't have any other lands in hand. They could, I guess they had a draw for the turn, and then they crashed through, so it's possible one of the 4 cards is a land. Lightning Bolt the face. Ephemerate in response? On top of that, you know, Lava Dart you, up, letting it resolve, just in case I draw Force of Negation, which is not in the deck. Hey, it's not the best land in this spot. Oh, wasting everybody's time. Opponent, come on. All right. That's just like, what am I supposed to do against that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Eidolon of Rhetoric as well, I guess. Oh my god. Oh. Stop it. Stop it, deck. Alright. Gonna use a mouse for my sideboarding. I can't take the trackpad for the sideboarding. Scavenging Ooze, Eidolon. And we had one more card that I just brought in. Oh, you know what? I don't have in this deck the Spore Frog. I need to add Spore Frog back to my sideboard. I know I have another card in here that I'm sideboarding. Let's see, or maybe not. So at this point, I would have brought in 5. Yeah, taking that out. So I should have a 5th card in here somewhere. Oh, Burrington. There we go. All right. So all the soul. I'm gonna take out the Dorks since it like died to a Stiff Breeze. Run it back. Thank you, Neil. It was Forged Tender. It was hiding over in the 1-drops. So we would like to play first. Somehow we're like 2 minutes ahead on time against this prowess opponent who had like the nuts last game. We're gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep it and pray. Because, excuse me, 80 card deck, I don't know. I feel like mulliganing is sketch in this deck. So, probably just have to get like a shock land, as rough as it is. And I guess white-green is the way to go. Could also do white-blue. White-blue is probably fine. Get Hallowed Fountain. Alright, so definitely playing a risky game here, but we drew like 18 lands in one of the other games, so hopefully that's the path that we're on here. Get it, path. Alright, well. So now I think I can block and then flash Niambian and just gain some life. Alternatively, I can just play Coiling Oracle. Maybe that's better. I think that's probably just better. Yeah, I know it's only 1 life. And we also just kind of want to hit lands, so let's see if we can do that. Lavinia showing up at the weirdest times. Prowess opponent is just like playing lands, creatures, and spells. Just perfectly curving out. I guess the guy that I beat in the last round seemed to have some pretty clunky draws. Oh, they passed. What is that about? Opponent. Ephemerate's sort of cool. I really, really want lands. So I guess I just pass, right? I can't play anything anyway right now. Actually, I literally can't play Niambi as things stand. So the only thing that's on the table at this point is Path and Ephemerate. So we'll pass, see if they want to like Lava Dart the Coiling Oracle. They probably would have done it on their turn. I think if they tap out for like an end step bolt or something, they would have just done it on our turn. I'm just really confused why the opponent didn't attack last turn. They didn't play anything there either. Alright, so we probably want to path this turn. Though pathing our own creature is like a, I don't know, it's so enticing. Forked Bolt. I mean, this is going to resolve. Hopefully it's just going to fuel the Uro later on in the game. These creatures are coming in with trample, so I do want to path one of them. I think I did that a little bit backwards. Probably should have pathed this guy. It doesn't matter too much, I guess. Soul Scar does keep like permanent damage on my creatures, but I've got Ephemerates. I don't know. Like if they bolt one of my creatures, they're usually just dying anyway, so whatever. Taking 2 from the Soul Scar, going down to 13. Going to draw a basic land here. Lava Spike, second main. Doesn't seem that smart. It seems pretty bad, actually. Alright, so now we gotta play Coatl and hope to draw land. Nothing else we can do. Holding up Ephemerate is just dumb. Ugh, deck. We're getting to that point where I might need to sacrifice Burrington just to prevent some damage. And we need to draw green mana and blue mana to have any chance at escaping Uro at some point. Okay, bolting my face, fair enough. Okay. So now 3 new cards in hand. Discarding a mountain. Alright, well, I mean, we're gonna keep hanging on. It would just be like way too greedy to like attack with the Ice Fang and then ephemerate it to try to draw land. Really need to path one of their creatures, so I think I just have to pass the turn. Actually, you know what? Probably not going to attack with the... Probably not going to block with the Ice Fang anyway, so... The thing is, I might have to chump with it, unfortunately. So I'll just pass. 1 damage isn't going to like swing things one way or another. Lava Spike. Light up the stage. Okay. I have a feeling this is going to be a good light up the stage. Well, double Kiln Fiend is pretty good. It's good value, but... Okay, crash through. So now we have to path the Bedlam Reveler, and we'll block the Burrington, and we'll sort of see how it goes. Pretty sure they don't have any lava darts in here. All right, I really can't afford to sacrifice this thing. I'm going to take 3 damage. Opponent should just sack their canyon and just draw a bolt and finish us off. With 2 Kiln Fiends and nothing else on my board, I kind of need to keep the burnt in here. Could always sack it in response to a bolt or something, but pretty sure it's just lights out at this point. So we need a basic land now to do anything. It's blocked, so I guess we can do that. Basic plains. I'm gonna scoop, guys. We kept the 1 lander. It's probably ill-advised. Actually, it's kind of a cowardly move. Should have mulliganed. I had the burnt in, and I had a path, and I had white mana, and it seems like it's enough in the opening hand, but you can't really count on drawing like 4 running lands. So sorry about that one. It's currently 1-2 against burn/prowess this evening. But some of that's on me. I totally misplayed Niambi in the first round against Burn. And I think I just kept like a pretty crappy hand there. We can keep trying to get experience against these red decks, see what works if they want to. Yeah, but Paintball, my point is that I screwed me. I didn't, the deck didn't screw me. I kept a 1 lander. And then I think I drew into a second land right away, which was awesome. It let me actually cast some spells, but you guys know from playing Merfolk, or some of you should know from playing Merfolk, that keeping a 1 lander without Vial is always really sketchy, because you're going to draw a second land and then you're going to whiff for like 4 turns, and you're only going to cast 1 spell each turn. Your opponent's going to be rampant, just hitting their land drop every single turn. And it's a pretty much guaranteed way to lose. So, noob mistake. Opponent's keeping, I'm going to keep. I could go like basic. I might as well just play the Vista tapped though, I think. Well, now I kind of want to go basic. Protect my life total a little bit. So Delver, is he going to do the blind flip? I say yes with Lightning Bolt. Oh, no flip, so nice. A little bit of luck. We kind of have to stop drawing lands for a little while. I've seen a bunch of Delver decks with these like Sprite Dragons, and one guy had Dreadhorde Arcanist. Just like a lot of Serum Visions and Opts and Lightning Bolts. All right. It's going to be a really fast clock, but Stonehorn is pretty nice. Stonehorn, Niambi, pick up Stonehorn. Nah, I'm not running Vial. I tried Vial and it felt kind of clunky to me. I could try it more, but... Alright, well, we're managing to not get got by the Delver so far. I will happily trade for a Delver if they'd let me do it. Very happily. Also kind of happy for them to burn a bolt on this. Deck. Eternal Witness is pretty sick. I feel like this is the first. This is, I think, the first Eternal Witness that I've drawn and played the entire evening. Opponent trying to flip Delver for the third time. Odds, I think, are in favor of them doing it at this point. But they do not. And again, I will sort of happily trade for a Delver. Although we'll take 2 damage and then play Stonehorn. Opponent could have Cryptic up here now. Yeah, I feel like we kind of have to take the 2. They just pass. I love it. So, we have 2 creatures with Flash. We can go get our other Tangle land. Try to lure out some kind of action. But then this thing won't have Death Touch. We need to get another blue, but we can't get another basic island right now. So we can't cast both of the creatures with Flash. We can cast one of the creatures with Flash and then ephemerate something. It seems sort of fine. The opponent's on 3 cards and they didn't play anything on their turn. I feel like going for Stonehorn is just kind of bold here. Tapping out when we could hold up Ephemerate. I mean, we can just pass with Niambi and Coatl up and Ephemerate up. I think that's the way to go, honestly. So as things stand, yeah, I'm going to play this. This leaves up the combination of Ice Fang plus Ephemerate or Niambi plus Ephemerate. Opponent seems like they don't want to... I feel like they don't want to lose these Delvers, so I'm going to go ahead and attack with Eternal Witness. It's kind of a bold call, but the opponent seems to value these Delvers really high. So, are you going to use your mana, opponent? Archmage's Charm. I feel like I'm kind of priced into playing some spells here now. Let's start by going Ice Fang. We can, of course, still get our Tangle land and use Niambi. Lavinia is interesting. Now we've got 2 creatures that stop combat. Yeah, I think I just let this resolve now at this point. Sanctuary is going to put what? Archmage's Charm on top of the deck. It means that they're going to draw it and counter something. Oh, so they're actually going to flip the Delvers here. So, if I want to resolve my spell, probably want to cast it now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to cast something on their turn so they cast the counter spell, and then I can untap and resolve like Lavinia. And I'm going to get a basic, I think, to try to get one of these Delvers. All right, so we know that they have an Archmage Charm in hand. See if they have a 5th land. Oh my god, what are they doing? What are they doing? That is like the most ridiculous play I've ever seen. Sorry, opponent. Get wrecked. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. So we got green. Can never really have too much green. I'm gonna get... I'll get a second. I'm gonna get a basic plains. Gonna kill one of these Delvers. Even though, hold on, in theory, it may not matter since... Yeah, you know what, I want to protect my life total anyway. I'll just go ahead and trade with one of these things. I mean, tapping out like that when you have Archmage's Charm in hand is just really ridiculous. I mean, they could have I guess Force of Negation here, which sort of seems fine. I could Chord for something, but nothing that can deal with that. They pitched a Snapcaster Mage, which seems sort of fine. So I was going to play like the Stonehorn and hold up Ephemerate, but in this spot, I feel like it's probably better just to play out Lavinia. Could also just Chord for Soul Herder. That actually seems pretty good too. I'd love to start gaining some life at some point. Maybe, remember, we do know that they have an Archmage's Charm in hand. I think Lavinia seems fine. We do have Urian in the companion zone. The friend zone. Alright, 12-12. This is it's a pretty close game of Magic here. Opponent on 3 cards. They play out a 3rd Delver. Can't attack with anything this turn, so they do have Archmage's Charm up here. Fortunately, we've got a bunch of mana that we can do stuff with. We could just try to like lure out this Archmage's Charm, and then we can always like Niambi pick up Lavinia, that kind of thing, or try to. Again, I could probably I can Chord. If I do this and you can Chord for 3, let's try this here. See if this gets through. These guys love casting Archmage's Charm to draw 2 cards. So I kind of want to let them tap out for Archmage, draw 2, and then Chord for something good. Like maybe Uro would be pretty sweet in this spot. But I can get a 4-drop. Maybe Venser, bounce the Aberration. Seems decent. Do I want to attack with this? It depends on what I want to get. So I think I kind of do want to attack with Lavinia. And then we can Chord for 3. Oh, they did not do anything with it. Interesting. Well, we still have Chord up. Lightning Bolt. Well, that's intense. Because now they can Archmage Charm plus Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I mean, that I was just thinking about that line. We know they have an Archmage's Charm in hand, though. But if they counter it, we get to resolve. Hang on. Could also just Niambi. Oh, I don't have blue, so forget that plan. I only have one blue land. That's probably like my fault. I should have probably gotten more blue at some point. Come on, you want to counter it. Okay, so now we know that they have Bolt up, and we have to do some work to not die to Bolt here. Although, opponent pretty close to being dead on board. That was a decent draw. At 6, 7, oh, that's so close. So close. I can just cast Niambi, gain 5, and then replay the Lavinia. That seems like a good line. So but I don't have mana for that, or do I? No, I don't. I do have blue-white over here. Yeah, Stonehorn is also a good option. It's pretty much the same thing, but just extra. But I could cast Stonehorn and Knight here. That's probably the way to go. All right, open up our blue mana a little bit. And you know what? I feel like just gaining 5 might be better here. Get Lavinia back to my hand. Then I can cast Lavinia. The opponent won't be able to block next turn. Opponent just conceding. All right. So pretty interesting. Niambi kind of... so I see Jackie Chen is doing this deck command. I don't know if I have that. I do have the... What is it called? God. Anyhow, the plugin over here that shows you the deck that I'm playing, but I have the wrong Niambi because it's Cardboard Live. They don't have the right Niambi yet in their system, so let's bring in all of these Veils. Let's bring in Burrington. Let's bring in Thragtusk. Scavenging Ooze, pretty good. They did have Snapcaster Mage. They pitched it to cast Force of Negation. Auriok Champion, just as a way to gain more life. Seems like it could be good. Maybe, I mean, we have a bunch of life gain in the deck. I feel like Knight is a little bit over the top. You can trim 1 Soul Herder. Oh, it's Niambi, esteemed speaker. This is the card. Maybe we trim 1 Niambi. Maybe Auriok is over the top with you know, the 2 white mana. Still need to trim 4 cards, fit all this stuff. Let's go down 1 Siege Rhino. It's a great win condition, but we probably don't need all 4. Deputy dies to all their removal, but it can gain us a turn, and we're playing against a tempo deck. Venser, I guess. Trim another Soul Herder. Trim another Niambi. And trim... I like Uro in the matchup. I don't know. Trim 1 Witness. Whatever. I don't know. Burrington can save something important from a bolt. It's like a... I guess it's really not that great, actually, so... we can keep this. They don't run too many creatures, so the path... and they're mulliganing to 6, so definitely a keep over here. With few lands, it's more important, I think, to get our colors sorted than to try to get Death Touch online. Okay, opponent kept on 6, plays a tap Steam Vents. Dork? Astrolabe? Well, that's pretty good. So to have access to blue and green white, we could go like Temple Garden into Island. I'm gonna path this thing on the opponent's upkeep, I think. Although we could potentially take some damage from it. Could have just pathed it now, I guess. If I wanted to take more damage. I mean, it's probably better just to run out Coiling Oracle here. Play our game a little bit. They are on a mulligan, so... Let them, I don't know, tap out next turn, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, I probably should have just gotten a Shockland and killed the Sprite Dragon on the opponent's turn. Just kind of a misplay. Scavenging Ooze is pretty decent. The opponent knows that I have it. Alright, growing the Sprite Dragon. I might just go for Path on my turn, even if they have Force, just to sort of, well... We didn't see anything like Monolink, and if they have Force of Negation, they can cast it. If we stop them on their upkeep, they can't cast it. If they have Mystical Dispute, they can't get me. So, do they have a Monolink? Come on. A Deprive. It's a good spell. Alright, so I think I probably just want to get this Icefang Coatl down now, just so that they don't replay their blue land and then have a Mystical Dispute. We do have Eternal Witness into Path next turn. So this means we'll take some damage here, but... just passing, interesting. Siege Rhino punishing me for using my fetch land there, but we can always get it back, potentially with Eternal Witness, but I think I'm just going to go for Path here. So, Prairie Stream, Eternal Witness... Now we know they played Deprive. That's news to us. They don't have a... Okay, they don't have a counterspell for this. I guess they could... Well, they can't force a negation my Eternal Witness. And if they do have a... Oh, they're not conceding here, are they? They are just conceding. I think. Weird. Alright, so 2-2 for the evening so far. I believe we beat Prowess, lost to Burn and Prowess, and then beat Delver. Oh yeah, that's a pretty slick combination. Mystic Sanctuary and Deprive. You bounce the Mystic Sanctuary back to your hand with Deprive. I love it. I love turning like downsides into upsides. All right, so that's 4 for the evening. I'll go ahead and join the queue again. It's always a little bit risky just jumping back into a queue because a lot of the times you can just get the same opponent again. Like I think this might be the same exact guy. But I'm not 100%. Maybe you guys can remember better than I can. I'm pretty sure this is a mulligan. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, we're going to 5. Opponent keeping 6. Oh my god. This is like the worst. I know I can't cast the Astrolabe, but going down to 4 is pretty terrible. Well, if I keep this and I draw a fetch off the top, then it's actually not so super terrible, right? Because now I've got Astrolabe. I'm gonna keep, and I think that I have a better chance of drawing a land off the top than winning on a mulligan to 4. So we're gonna put anything expensive to the bottom of the deck. Hang on a second. I'm gonna pitch the Rhino and I guess the Chord of Calling. We don't really have the resources to make that work. Mulligans do suck, but it happens. Haha, what is this? Speaker of the Heavens. Okay, so it's like Soul Sisters, but he has to gain 7 life first. Alright, it's on. It's on, opponent. I want to see some angels out of this guy. I'm on a mulligan to 5 with no castable spells. This is pretty bad art. This guy. He's like, I am turning right. Well, this hand is only getting better and better. Come on, opponent. 6 more attacks and you can start making angels. If Alright, I'm just gonna concede. I don't want to waste time. I mean, we could see what he's doing, but we know what he's doing. He's on Soul Sisters. We took our, we took our chance. Rolled the dice, didn't draw lands. Okay, what do we want to do against Soul Sisters? Probably pretty much nothing. I could play this thing and name that stupid creature that we just saw, but don't really feel like doing that. If it's like Martyr proc, then Scavenging Ooze could be decent. We could just play Meddling Mage and name Path to Exile. That seems like a decent start. Could be like an Aether Vial deck, but we didn't see it, so we can't really bring in Kasali Pride Mage. Opponent has no idea what we're doing. And if they're gaining a bunch of life, maybe we should try to gain life with Auriok Champion, but I don't know, it's just kind of stupid. I don't think we have a good matchup against whatever these guys are doing, honestly. Unless I really quickly get like Eternal Witness loops with Path to Exile. I'm gonna keep the core of the deck really similar. I guess I'll just trim one Soul Herder. I don't even know if there are gonna be enchantments that I want to blow up with Night of Autumn. So now we have a Meddling Mage that we can tutor for if we really feel like it. And we just hope to draw good cards and see what happens, I guess. It's so awkward. But it's got lands and it's got a creature and it's got some redraws, so I'll keep it. Also, it's got Oboro, which combos with Niambi, which is kind of nice. So it's the hand of like infinite redraws, basically. An opponent is mulliganing to 6 here, and they're keeping their 6. All right, let's go Astrolabe. Draw me a creature, a good creature, not a 5-drop, please. Okay, I can dig that. Uh, 2-drop, maybe? Lands, no. Maybe I should have taken this turn to get Niambi down, and so I can use next turn to pitch Oboro. But I'm not going to have 3 mana to activate Niambi for a little bit, so I guess if I played her this turn, I could have activated her next turn. But now we have an Ephemerate, making things a little bit more interesting. This is the one that puts cards on the bottom of their library. So they're probably going to run that 3-drop that lets them search for a 1-drop. Oh, we're gonna lose to this jank, guys. just know it. I mean, I'm going to try to deputy this thing, and if they want to path the deputy to keep this on the board, sort of okay with that. I am going to get... This is not like a Leonin Arbiter deck, so I'm just going to go ahead and get a whole bunch of shocks out of my deck, I guess. Opponent is going to Mana Tithe my deputy. Huh. So it's a black-white deck. So they could run like Kaya's whatever that lets them exile my graveyard, sacrifice creatures. All right. Fair enough. Stonehorn could be relevant at some point. Oh, that's a good draw. That's the first good draw we've had in a little while. If they path this, I think I just let it go. We've already got Death Touch online, like super online. Just pass the turn. Okay, opponent not sacking Martyr of Sands yet. They usually do that right away. Flagstone says when they have like a billion planes, right? Oh, no, that's the other one. Ghost Quarter. Not the most useful here. Okay, attack. It's like... Okay. Okay, here's this guy. Called it. He's going to get what? Probably another Martyr, I would guess. Now, I can Niambi and then draw 2 cards by pitching Oboro next turn, still hold up Ephemerate. But returning Deputy to hand doesn't really seem that cool, so... Opponent leaving up land even though they've got Martyr in hand. Pretty telegraphed. I've got my own path. I feel like mana efficiency kind of says I have to kill this thing right now. All right. All right. So I feel like a Wrath of God is incoming. Doesn't make a lot of sense to play into this board. If they do Wrath, for whatever reason, I'd probably just pick up the Ice Fang Coatl. I am going to play Oboro because I can always bounce it back to my hand whenever I want. I mean, like, I guess I can let this go. Or just return it back to my hand. I don't know. Returning it to my hand seems pretty good. Gain 3 life, keep a card. Niambi as a counterspell, pretty solid. Opponent gets their silly little Angel Maker again. So, yeah. This guy. Alright, that was fine. Still have Ephemerate up with all these Astrolabes. I would trade for this silly creature if they attacked. And again, if they Wrath, I would probably just Ephemerate Niambi and pick up the Coatl. So they're putting this on the bottom. When does this happen? Oh, they're paying to activate this. They're putting the path on the bottom of the deck. Cool. Cool. Although if they have Wraths in their main deck, like these decks often do, I imagine that they would attacking with this thing is so random. Fine, I'll trade. We could force the Martyr of Sands crack here, or try to. We're not really doing too much here. You know, I want to put Orion into my hand now. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Paintball Demon. I know that they play this deck. I've seen them play Ballista, and it combos with that 3-drop that I pathed earlier. Ranger Captain and one of their lands. I mean, if we could draw 4 cards off of this Uriah next turn, it seems pretty solid. I should have probably played the Noble Hierarch and gotten in for Exalted, but now, I don't know. I guess it still just makes sense to play it. Like, what am I holding it for? If they wipe the board, they wipe the board, sort of fine. I'm going to keep this Ephemerate in my hand for a little while. If they have like a path for Orion, that's a blowout. I'm going to get in for 2 first in the air. Oh man, Value Town right here. Haven't done this in a little while. Yeah, I don't really think I want that to resolve. It seems worth spending the Ephemerate. Opponent's conceding in response to that. Seems like they were flooding out pretty hard in that game. So that was game 2, because I mulliganed to Oblivion in game 1. All right, so it's like Martyr proc with, I guess, Walking Ballista. And if they play Walking Ballista, maybe we want to run Kazali Pride Mage as another piece of removal for it. Collector Oof. I think let's run Collector Oof. Better than Revoker or Pride Mage. It's just a 2/2. Seems decent. I guess can always trim one Niambi. I mean, it's like four of them is a little bit overboard, but they've been fun tonight. I mean, it's a fun deck. It's a fun card. Hard to say how competitive it is yet, but we do like life gain, so there's that. The awkwardness this evening. Have to mulligan this. If I draw like basically any land, the hand is actually pretty good. But yeah, we can't risk this. There's no reason to. Well, the opponent's deck is pretty slow. And the only removal that they have early game is Path to Exile. So I go turn 1, Canopy Vista, go. Turn 2, Hierarch. If we don't draw a land, we're kind of wrecked. I was just complaining about keeping this kind of a hand a second ago. But we are on the draw. We do have an Astrolabe. We do have a Dork. It's just that we have this awkward... Like, it wouldn't be much of a... Like, I wouldn't think about it at all if this was not a Canopy land. So whatever, I'm going to keep it. You guys can see me get punished. Best draw off the top is Basic Forest. All right, well, not the end of the world. We do have a path for this Serra Ascendant. I doubt they're going to get to 30 life anytime super soon, unless they play a Martyr and reveal a bunch of cards right now. Actually, that's totally a turn 2 thing that this deck can do. All right, well, it looks like our slowness is not really wrecking us so far. Land? Okay, no land. And now if they play a path on the Hierarch, it's totally fine. If they play that Sorin's Vengeance or whatever that card was on Hierarch, that would hurt. It would hurt quite a lot, actually. Here it comes. Oh, she gets to kill my thing, right? Oh. Oh, I never learn. I do learn. I'm very, very, very disciplined with mulligans when I play Merfolk. But somehow I feel like when I'm playing like sort of brewy versions of this particular deck, I can afford to. All right, well, he drew a land. So that definitely means I'm going to play Coatl on the opponent's turn. So I'll just pass the turn. I will try to get this Serra Ascendant, I think. Kaya can be pretty annoying. Martyr of Sands can also be pretty annoying. But we can fix our colors if they path this Icefang Coatl in response to, like, flashing it in. I mean, keeping it on the board lets me start to attack Kaya, but they haven't even activated Kaya yet. Kaya does get to get rid of our Astrolabes if she wants to. But I think trading with the Ascendant seems reasonable. But if they have a path, they're gonna get the path, I would imagine. To me, I feel like they should let the trade happen. Are they going to monetize me? Oh, all right, that's weird. Just the timing of it. So I do have Orzar. Let's check out what this thing does. Return a creature you control to their hand. Okay. Destroy target creature, and you lose life equal to its toughness. Okay. Maybe they're gonna Orzhov Charm me. Return target creature from the graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, well, they're gaining 9 life here. So, actually, this is a 6/6 now. This is pretty scary. And they're gonna kill my creature anyway, though they should probably use... This is not very threatening, so... I feel like they should have gotten Martyr of Sands back here. Alright. So can I get a land, please? Maybe a forest, so that I can path this thing. Ranger Captain is obnoxious, because it gets to go get another... What was that? Kaya just... Oh, that was decent, right? Alright, so we do need to deal with the Serra Ascendant. Opponent has Proclamation. Return up to 3 target creature cards with converted mana cost 1 or less if they want to do this. From the graveyard to the battlefield. Well, currently there's only one of them. So it's like birds plus path, right? And Orzhov Charm is out of the picture. Orzhov. It's a weird word. Orzhov. Oh wait, stop. Kaya gets to Kaya gets to get my birds, and I should probably just play this Astrolabe anyway. Alright, Siege Rhino is kind of a step in the right direction, I guess. Well, Kaya has to tick down to get my birds, so that's sort of okay with me. So we still want to draw land off the top. Peace out, Serra Ascendant. All right, Ranger Captain into another Serra Ascendant, I'm sure. Land does a bunch of interesting things for us. I guess they could go get like Walking Ballista if they want to, but Serra Ascendant seems pretty good. 1-drop 6/6 flying lifelink. Land for Venser, bounce the Ascendant for the time being, and then get some stuff going. Niambi doesn't really do it for us here. I guess we have to start with Astrolabe. I mean, that would be good with land. Alright. I thought they only had 1 card in hand. Excuse me. But apparently they have 2 cards in hand. I mean, just playing out Niambi for no value doesn't seem amazing. So, Collector Oof it is. Oh, wait, no, not Collector Oof. I'm gonna chump anyway, I think. Can't activate these things. I was just gonna block no matter what, so. Yeah, I mean, this... Oh, not attacking anyway. Kind of weird. So any land off the top lets us path this stupid Serra Ascendant. And now Ranger, and they go and get Walking Ballista to finish me off, maybe. But Collector Oof is on the battlefield, so I guess they just get more Serra Ascendants and just kill me. If they get another Serra Ascendant, I think the only way I don't die is like Deputy off the top. Oh, they're so greedy. They're gonna this thing, fine. Oh wait, did they get... I think they also have a Serra Ascendant in hand. Man, like, how greedy. Why don't you just play another Serra Ascendant? Oh, and they got rid of my path with Kaya. So, alright, I can't cast non-creature spells. Cool. Cool. I have no flying creatures. I can gain 2 by bouncing Collector Oof. So block with Collector Oof, gain 2, and yeah. Oh, guys, the mulligans this evening. If they path the Collector Oof, that would just be like perfect end to the evening. Path right now, opponent, or just like, you know, they should have some removal. But they could also just play, if they have Ballista, it would be kind of cool, like to use it once Collector Oof is off the table. Although they can exile their own creature, right? From the graveyard and kill me. Oh yeah, they just exiled. Yeah, I don't even know what this card does. It never drains me. They just gain life if they exile creatures. It drains me if they do their, like, the ultimate. Well, we let the opponent use their cool, dirtily 1-drop. So that's something. And they're at 50 life, so something to be said for making your opponent feel good. Alright, that's it. So, concede the game. And I guess we went 2 for 3 in Qs this evening, which is not super confidence inspiring. But we had some fun playing Niambi. We also mulliganed like all the time, I feel like. So hopefully that gave you guys some kind of impression about the potential for Niambi in the deck. It's possible we want to skew the deck a little bit towards legendaries. It's possible we want to use Ether Vial, but I don't know. Honestly, I just kind of like playing 60 cards. I don't know why exactly I felt obliged to go back to 80 with Niambi. I guess I was thinking at first I was going to try Alicia's 80 card list with Tidehollow Sculler, and of course Urian as the companion with Niambi. But I just like the 60 card deck better, where I can chord for Urian if I feel like it. Just always seems like with the new companion rule, like paying 3 for Urian and then just like telegraphing it to the opponent and then playing it, it's just super slow. Just better to develop a big board and then chord for Urian. All right, guys. So I'm probably just gonna call it now. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I wish I had done a little bit better this evening. We played against 3 sort of hyper-aggressive red decks, managed to win one of the games. Probably could have won, or sorry, one of the matches. Probably could have won the first match as well against Burn, but I was kind of stupid with how I played Niambi. When you're trying to gain life against Burn, it's very, very often correct to do it on your own turn when they're tapped pretty low. Like, if for those of you guys who weren't around, I was playing against a Burn opponent. They had 2 lands out. One of them was tapped. They played, I don't know, whatever, a Swift Spear on their main phase. And then I passed back to the opponent. They had like maybe one. They had exactly 1 card in hand. And I thought maybe they had a path or something, and I didn't want to blink first. But I let them untap, and when I saw that they didn't have a path, because they could have, I think I had Thragtusk on the board, and I was thinking about picking it up with Niambi to gain 5 life, but I didn't want to go for it and then have Thragtusk get pathed on my turn. So I figured, okay, if they have the path, they're going to do it when I attack, but they didn't do it. So okay, they don't have the path, let's pass back, pause on their upkeep, and then do it there. I don't know. But it turned out the card they had in hand was Boros Charm, and they had this new Chandra's whatever that's a 6/6 trampler that deals damage to my creatures when it deals damage to my face. So Boros Charm did 4 to my face, and then it did 4 to Thragtusk. So Niambi couldn't pick up the Thragtusk, and it was just a huge blowout. So playing against Burn, If they have one land up or less, you typically like want to gain the life on your turn. Like if you let them untap and they have like a main deck Skullcrack or something random like that, there's no reason to let them blow you out. So if they have one card and they're on exactly like one Sacred Foundry, force them to have the path. Like the odds are pretty low, but letting them untap, I feel like the odds get significantly higher that they could Skullcrack or with that Chandra's 6/6 Trampler on the board. Really, like any burn in that spot would kill Thragtusk. So could have won that one, I think, if I played it a little bit smarter. But ultimately, we lost 2 out of the 3 to the red decks, and then we lost to some crazy Soul Sisters brew that really I don't know, whatever. It's Soul Sisters. It gets you sometimes. So what are you saying here? They played 2. Yeah, it's true. I know I have gotten main deck Skullcracked before, and it feels pretty bad. But anyhow, I'm gonna go have a snack or something. So let's talk about Niambi in the Discord a little bit more. I like the card. I don't know what the correct number of it is. Obviously, she's taking up spots that other cool cards could be taking up. It could just be more Monodorks. Could be anything. Maybe I want to run a singleton Niambi in the 60 card version of the deck. Like I can just swap her out for Charming Prince. Maybe I actually want to do that. I'll do that now, and then I'll try it out for the rest of the week. I'll keep you guys up to date on how it feels. This also has my up to date sideboard with Spore Frog in it, and I still have these Teferis. Running all of these singleton non-creatures like Winds and Ceremonious and Disdainful Stroke and Worship, Veil, Pithing Needle, Teferi, they're all pretty bad when you're running 80 cards, but when you run 60, I feel like the singletons work pretty well as like packages. So if you guys just bear with me for a second, I am going to check something real quick. So how do we do this? Looks like Squaw Chief is streaming right now, so I'm going to send you guys over his way. Tell him Merfolk Joe says hello. I do enjoy his streams. All right, guys, so have a good evening. Thanks very much for joining me. If any of you here are not following the channel, please do that. You'll get notified whenever I start a stream. And if you'd like to support the channel, you could throw a subscription my way. If you have Amazon Prime, you can do that for free. If you link your account, if you're interested in learning more about that, you can hit me up on the Discord.